What's up, Rasmanites? If I sound slightly different today, it's because I'm now using cardioid mode on the Blue Yeti. This is the mode that is meant to centralize only on your vocals and not anything around you in your room, because I discovered that it was just way too problematic for everyone involved for me not to have an easily accessible refrigerator in my room, so I had to plug it back in. The audio quality should actually be just as comparable as it was before. The only difference is that you may not hear as much bass in my voice. So I thought I would just point that out real quick. So, today's episode is a review of Oz the Great and Powerful on the Razman's Reality. That's right, I was lucky enough to have the rarest of rare occasions happen to me last night and actually get to see a film on opening day. So, Oz the Great and Powerful, as you know, stars James Franco as Oz, Mila Kunis as Theodora, aka the Wicked Witch of the West, and Michelle Williams as Glinda, the Good Witch. Now, fans of the stage play Wicked will notice that is an immediate change in the timeline of events between The Wizard of Oz and that play, is that the Wicked Witch of the West is known as Theodora and not Elphaba. So I'm not quite sure why she wasn't named Elphaba. I don't know if Oz the Great and Powerful was actually a prequel written by the author who wrote The Wizard of Oz and they're staying true to the book rather than a afterly created stage play, or what the case is. But I was a bit disappointed in that fact, because I was hoping that the timeline of this film would lend itself right into that of Wicked and the ability to make a Wicked film adaptation. So if that happens now, Oz the Great and Powerful will have to be considered its own canon. So with that being said, what did I think of the film? The film was absolutely fantastic. Each of the visual aspects of the film are right on par with the Wizard of Oz, including having Kansas, where it turns out Oz himself is also from, and not just Dorothy. And I think that was revealed in The Wizard of Oz, but I can't exactly remember off the top of my head. So I know that last night I was a bit like, cool, he's from Kansas too, I didn't know that. But I'm pretty sure that is in The Wizard of Oz. If I'm wrong, I'll correct myself and overlay, but I'm pretty sure that the wizard reveals himself to be from Kansas in Wizard of Oz as well. But what I was trying to get at, I really lost my train of thought there for a second, sorry. What I was trying to get at is that Kansas is even in black and white and has the 4:3 aspect type of ratio where the screen is like this. And it's not until you get to Oz that you get the full color spectrum and this. So even that was carried over from The Wizard of Oz, which for a cinephile and a detail freak like myself, that was a major mark out moment. I was like, no way. There's that much attention to detail. That's amazing. The creatures and the Ozites in the film are exemplary, even the new ones, and all of the central cast, James Franco, Mila Kunis, Michelle Williams, and Zach Braff, who I forgot to mention. Zach Braff, who you probably know mostly from fame as JD on Scrubs, plays Finley, the monkey loyal sidekick of Oz in the film, and also the sidekick of Oz when he was in Kansas as well under his human name. All of the central cast is just amazing, and the believability in their characters is spot on, and you really truly become just as invested in this story as you were in the Wizard of Oz story. And I think the most telling thing about this film, because as I said, I'm just doing minor spoilers here, I'm not going to go, or I didn't say it out loud, it's in the title. I'm just going into minor spoilers here. I'm not going into full detail. I'm going to save that for the Blu-ray review, because I do have a lot to say about the film, but because it just opened, I don't want to be unfair to people who haven't seen it. So I think that the most surprising aspect about this film is that when you have a cast that works, and when you have a storyline that makes everything make sense, like everything that happens in this film from beginning to end, even the fact that the Wicked Witch of the West, Theodora, has a sister who was another Wicked Witch, and it was her sister that caused her to actually become as wicked as she is. Even that little small minute detail and how she became wicked. You might think, well, that's a major spoiler right there, Raz. Why did you say that? Because it's more about how she becomes wicked rather than who did it to her. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But I think the fact that you have this great story that ties everything together, and a central cast that just truly fits their roles and works on every conceivable level, makes Oz the Great and Powerful proof of how a prequel can be done properly. A prequel does not have to be something that totally discounts the original. And this prequel is done some 50 years, or is it 40 years? I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it's 50 years. I'll have to look it up and put it in overlay for sure. But it's done some several years after the fact of the original classic, The Wizard of Oz. And it works flawlessly. And everything about the film is highly enjoyable, and nothing about it, absolutely nothing about it, is a disappointment. So, bottom line, if you were on the fence about seeing this because you're a big lover of the original, don't be. Because this film is the truest of true cinematic experiences. And just for anybody that's curious, I saw it in 2D. I'm just not a big fan of 3D unless I can see it in IMAX 3D, which I could have, but I went with people, so I didn't. And even IMAX 3D, after seeing The Hobbit and Unexpected Journey, it just doesn't add as much to the film as I thought that it would on an overall basis. So I just wasn't that fussed over seeing it in 3D. So if you've seen the film, feel free to attach your review as a video response to this one, or leave me your thoughts down below in the description box. Don't forget to check out the official sponsors of this program and channel, Handi Enterprises Inc., your productivity and communication specialist. All company contact information, as always, is down below in the description box. And remember, if you help them, you help me out directly. And also, if this happened to be the first ever episode of the Razman's Reality and you like what you saw, click on that subscribe button right there to become a Razmanite, and I'm sure you won't be disappointed. This is reality according to the Razman and Razman style. It's not just a catchphrase, but a way of life.